They sit in silence, rusted giants swallowed by forests, buried in barns, and half lost to time. Forgotten military trucks once built for war now stand as quiet witnesses to a conflict that reshaped the world. Their designs look strange, sometimes even impossible, shaped by desperation, innovation, and the brutal demands of total war. During World War II, victory did not depend on firepower alone. It depended on movement. Fuel, ammunition, troops, and supplies had to reach the front, no matter the terrain or the cost. These machines carried the war on their backs, and among them, one discovery stands above all others. Dodge WC62. As the United States prepared for a global war, it quickly became clear that existing military trucks were not enough. Vast distances, unpredictable terrain, and the need to move entire units demanded something stronger, tougher, and more versatile. Out of this urgency came the Dodge WC62, a heavy-duty 6x6 truck developed to bridge the gap between light utility vehicles and large cargo haulers. Built in the United States between 1942 and 1945, it represented a new generation of battlefield transport, designed not for comfort, but for survival. Under its hood was a gasoline-powered inline six-cylinder engine, built to deliver steady torque rather than speed. With a displacement measured in hundreds of cubic inches and power output suited for hauling weight instead of racing, the WC62 was engineered to keep moving even when overloaded. Its manual transmission sent power to all six wheels, giving the truck the ability to crawl through mud, climb uneven ground, and push forward when normal vehicles would become helpless. The 6x6 drivetrain transformed the WC62 into a true workhorse. It could carry troops into forward areas, haul ammunition and supplies, and tow light artillery pieces when needed. Its cargo bed was long and open, capable of supporting several thousand pounds of equipment, while fold-down benches allowed soldiers to ride in the back. In many units, the WC62 became the backbone of daily operations, quietly sustaining the fighting forces without ever appearing in victory photographs. Visually, the truck was unmistakably military. A blunt, upright front end, rounded fenders, and a tall stance gave it a rugged, almost industrial look. The simple steel cab offered minimal protection, while a canvas-covered rear area shielded cargo from the elements. Everything about its design communicated function over form. Decades after the war, one WC62 was discovered abandoned inside a collapsing wooden barn in rural Europe, hidden beneath dust and farming equipment. Its tires were flat, its paint faded, but its identity was still clear. A machine once built for war had spent a lifetime forgotten, and yet the WC62 was only the beginning. The next vehicle would push military transport even further. Studebaker US6. When the United States entered the war, it was not only American forces that needed vehicles. Across the Atlantic, Allied armies were fighting for survival, desperately short of trucks, fuel carriers, and transport platforms. Through the Lend-Lease program, enormous quantities of equipment were shipped overseas, and among the most important of these vehicles was the Studebaker US6. It became one of the silent lifelines of the Eastern Front, a machine that rarely appeared in headlines, yet carried the weight of entire armies. Studebaker began large-scale production early in the war, focusing on simplicity, reliability, and mass output. The US6 was built to be rugged rather than refined, with components designed to be repaired quickly in harsh field conditions. Thousands rolled off assembly lines, destined not only for American use, but primarily for Allied forces who needed dependable transport more than anything else. Power came from the Hercules JXD gasoline engine, a sturdy inline six-cylinder design known for its durability. It was not a high-speed power plant, but it delivered steady, predictable output, ideal for hauling heavy loads over long distances. Paired with a manual transmission, the engine fed power into a full 6x6 drivetrain, allowing all three axles to drive. This configuration, combined with a robust suspension system, gave the US6 the ability to move across mud, snow, rutted roads, and broken terrain where ordinary trucks would simply stop. On the battlefield, the Studebaker US6 became a universal solution. It carried troops to the front, transported ammunition and fuel, hauled supplies, and sometimes towed artillery. Its cargo bed could be configured for multiple roles, making it one of the most flexible logistics vehicles of the war. Visually, the US6 was large and imposing, with a long hood, tall ground clearance, and a boxy, purposeful profile. Its wide stance hinted at the stability needed for heavy loads. Decades later, one US6 was discovered inside a collapsing barn deep in Siberia, preserved by cold and isolation. Dust-covered and forgotten, it stood as a frozen reminder of a global supply effort that once stretched across continents. But even this remarkable workhorse would soon be overshadowed by an even more powerful transport machine. Mack No 7.5-ton 6x6. In the chaos of World War II, Not every vehicle was built for speed, some were designed purely for strength, machines capable of hauling enormous artillery across the harshest battlefields. Among these leviathans was the Mack NO 7.5-ton 6x6, a heavy-duty prime mover engineered to carry weapons that dwarfed ordinary trucks. Its role was not glamorous, but without it, entire operations could stall, as artillery pieces could not reach the front lines without a reliable, powerful transport. Mack trucks produced this formidable vehicle between 1940 and 1945, dedicating every aspect of its design to endurance and raw pulling power. Beneath its long armored hood roared the Mack EY inline six-cylinder engine, displacing a colossal 11.6 liters. It was not about speed or elegance. The engine's torque curve was tailored to move unimaginable weight, ensuring that no hill, mud pit, or battlefield debris could halt its progress. Every gear, every piston was calculated for brute force. Power flowed through a 5-speed manual transmission coupled with a low-range transfer case, channeling energy into a full 6x6 drivetrain. Reinforced leaf spring suspension provided stability under extreme load, allowing the Mack NO to tow massive field guns, long-range howitzers, and other artillery pieces across Western Europe and even into the Pacific theater. Visually, the Mack NO was impossible to ignore. Oversized fenders, a towering hood, an armored steel cab, and massive tires gave it the appearance of a moving fortress. The deep growl of its engine echoed strength and endurance, a mechanical declaration of its purpose. It was a vehicle whose presence alone commanded respect, a literal powerhouse on wheels. Decades after the war, one Mack NO was rediscovered deep in a Romanian forest, partially buried and hidden from human eyes. A tree had grown alongside it, bending its door as if nature itself recognized its immobility. For enthusiasts and historians, this relic embodied the raw, unyielding power that had once carried the backbone of artillery across battlefields. Even as the Mack NO tells a story of strength, the next truck would redefine durability and innovation in ways that would keep it in production for decades beyond the war. Tatra 11-1 6x6. Amid the upheaval of World War II, Germany sought vehicles capable of mastering the most unforgiving terrain. The Tatra 11-1 6x6 was born from this vision, commissioned to ensure supply lines and military operations could continue across mountains, frozen plains, and rivers where conventional trucks faltered. Produced by Tatra, a company already celebrated for its innovative engineering, this truck pushed the boundaries of durability and off-road performance, merging clever mechanics with raw industrial power. At the heart of the Tatra 11-1 lay an air-cooled V12 diesel engine with 14.8 liters of displacement, generating roughly 210 horsepower. The air-cooled design was unusual for such a large truck, but made it exceptionally reliable in extreme climates, reducing the risk of overheating in snowbound or mountainous regions. Its power was transmitted through a 5-speed manual transmission coupled with a low-range gearbox, driving all 6 wheels through a sophisticated 6x6 drivetrain. An independent swing axle suspension, a Tatra hallmark, ensured that even uneven, rocky terrain could be traversed with minimal disruption to the vehicle's stability. The Tatra 11 was built to endure and to impress. Its low, elongated hood contrasted sharply with a narrow, angular cab, giving it a striking silhouette. Measuring over 26 feet long and weighing more than 13 tons, it was a commanding presence, visually and mechanically. During the war, it transported fuel, ammunition, heavy parts, and even light tanks, a testament to its versatility. Decades later, one of these remarkable trucks was found buried under cut timber and debris in an abandoned sawmill in Slovakia. Though left idle for decades, the engine still turned over, and the clutch remained in neutral, a living relic of engineering foresight. Its endurance and adaptability foreshadowed a legacy that would extend far beyond wartime. But the next vehicle on our journey would defy design conventions in ways even more extreme. M3 half-track. Introduced by the United States in 1941, the M3 half-track was a revolutionary hybrid that bridged the gap between wheeled mobility and tracked resilience. Designed to carry troops across nearly any terrain, it combined front wheels for steering with rear tracks for traction, creating a versatile platform that could traverse mud, sand, and uneven battlefields where conventional trucks would falter. The M3's innovative design allowed it to operate seamlessly in multiple theaters, from North Africa to Western Europe and the Pacific, making it indispensable to the Allied war effort. At the heart of this hybrid was a white inline 6-cylinder engine, displacing 6.3 liters and producing roughly 147 horsepower. This power was transmitted through a 4-speed manual gearbox with low-range gearing, specifically designed to drive the rear tracks while the front wheels managed directional control. The suspension system blended semi-elliptical leaf springs at the front with bogie-mounted tracks at the rear, absorbing shocks from rough terrain and maintaining stability under load. Every component emphasized reliability and adaptability, crucial for both transport and combat support. The M3 half-track could carry up to 13 fully equipped soldiers, along with their gear and mounted weapons. Some variants were fitted with Browning 50-caliber machine guns, transforming the vehicle into a mobile fire support platform. Its steel body offered partial protection to the crew, while maintaining a rugged, functional appearance. Years after the war, a surviving M3 was discovered at an abandoned airfield in Tunisia, half buried near the remnants of a temporary supply base. Its cab, weathered by decades of exposure, had served as shelter for local shepherds, yet traces of its wartime identity, including the faded inscription Baston Express, remained visible. While the M3 half-track exemplified hybrid ingenuity, the next vehicle in our journey would challenge conventional design even further, presenting a truck so unusual it seemed almost backwards in its conception. Scammell Pioneer R100. In the late 1930s, the British Army required a vehicle that could haul immense loads, recover damaged equipment, and support artillery operations across rugged battlefields. The Scammell Pioneer R100 emerged as the answer, a heavy recovery truck whose sheer size and unusual proportions set it apart from anything else of the era. Designed and manufactured by Scammell, it reflected the ingenuity and foresight of British military engineering, built to endure the harshest conditions and perform the most demanding tasks. Powering the R100 was a Gardner 6LW, an inline six-cylinder diesel engine with 8.3 liters of displacement, producing approximately 102 horsepower. While the output might seem modest, the engine's torque was immense, perfectly suited for low-speed, heavy-duty work. Its six-speed manual transmission featured extremely short first and second gears, allowing the vehicle to start fully loaded on steep inclines, a critical advantage when towing artillery or recovering vehicles from precarious positions. The 6x4 drivetrain, combined with reinforced semi-elliptical leaf springs, gave the R100 impressive traction and stability, enabling it to traverse mud, snow, and uneven terrain without faltering. Visually, the R100 was unmistakable. A forward-set cab, tall exposed fenders, and a massive rear bed created a silhouette that seemed almost theatrical, a symbol of brute strength and engineering ambition. During its service, it hauled heavy artillery, recovered disabled tanks, and transported oversized equipment, often under the pressures of combat and in proximity to enemy fire. Years later, one of these extraordinary trucks was rediscovered in a stone barn in rural Scotland. Left to serve as a support frame for storing wood and animal feed, it had been forgotten until an observant local recognized its distinctive design. The manual starting crank remained mounted in its original position, a small but remarkable relic of its wartime purpose. And yet, the next vehicle in our story would take the concept of hybrid design to a level even more radical. Krupp Protze L2H143, developed in the late 1930s by Krupp in Germany, the Protze L2H143 represented one of the Wehrmacht's early experiments in light military truck design. Tasked with transporting infantry and towing light artillery, this six-wheeled vehicle broke from conventional forms with its unique cab layout and compact frame. Its front-mounted engine, paired with a recessed driver's cab and lowered chassis, created a silhouette that was instantly recognizable on the battlefield, and unlike anything seen in other contemporary military vehicles, every detail reflected Germany's focus on efficiency and adaptability in the early Blitzkrieg campaigns. Under the hood, the Protze featured a Krupp M304 four-cylinder boxer engine displacing 3.3 liters and producing approximately 55 horsepower. Though modest in output, the engine's lightweight, horizontally opposed design offered reliable torque sufficient for hauling troops and light weaponry across rough terrain. The vehicle employed a four-speed manual transmission powering its rear wheels, while leaf spring suspension ensured stability on dirt roads and uneven surfaces. Its combination of simplicity and functionality made it a dependable workhorse in the early years of the war, capable of carrying soldiers and supplies where larger trucks could not. Visually, the Protze's angular cab and open design provided both practical ventilation and rapid deployment for soldiers. Its side-facing bench seats allowed for efficient troop movement, while the low-profile body aided in concealment from enemy observation. Decades after the war, one of these vehicles was discovered repurposed as a farm workshop, nestled among scrap metal and old tools in a partially collapsed barn near the German-Czech border. The original chassis remained intact, and the boxer engine, though partially disassembled, hinted at the vehicle's wartime origin. From this early German innovation, our journey now moves to a platform that blended half-track versatility with formidable German engineering, revealing a military vehicle capable of carrying artillery and troops across the most demanding fronts. Sd.Kfz 7 half-track. Designed in the 1930s by Krauss Maffei, the Sd.Kfz half-track embodied Germany's vision of a versatile, heavy-duty military platform capable of both towing artillery and transporting troops across the challenging battlefields of World War II. This half-track was engineered to balance raw power with mobility, evolving into one of the most adaptable German military vehicles of the war. Its design allowed it to serve not only as a prime mover for heavy guns, but also as a mobile anti-aircraft platform, proving indispensable on multiple fronts from North Africa to the Eastern Front. Powering the Sd.Kfz 7 was a Maybach HL62 TUK, a six-cylinder inline engine with 7 liters of displacement producing roughly 140 horsepower. This engine, paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox and low-range option, ensured the half-track could conquer the roughest terrain while maintaining reliable performance under full load. Its twin-drive traction system delivered power simultaneously to the front wheels and rear tracks via a dual-drive shaft setup, a mechanical solution that combined impressive off-road capability with manageable road handling. Leaf springs supported the front suspension, while the tracks ran on independent bogies with coil springs, smoothing the ride even when carrying heavy artillery. Visually, the Sd.Kfz 7 was imposing. At approximately 22 feet long, its steel body stretched over a robust track assembly that dominated its profile. Longitudinal troop seating, sturdy metal panels, and the prominent tracks gave it a commanding presence, signaling its purpose as both transport and weapon carrier. It could haul up to 12 fully equipped soldiers or tow the formidable 88mm flak gun, Germany's iconic anti-aircraft and anti-tank weapon, while some variants even mounted the gun directly onto the vehicle for a self-propelled artillery role. Decades after the war, one Sd.Kfz 7 was discovered in Hungary, repurposed as a humble logging tractor on a rural farm. Despite modifications, its rear tracks and original towing mechanisms remained intact, bearing silent witness to the ingenuity and durability of German engineering. From this extraordinary half-track, our exploration now moves toward a hybrid machine designed to endure the harshest conditions on the Eastern Front, combining track mobility with tried-and-true truck design. GMC DUKW 6x6. In the midst of World War II, the demands of amphibious warfare inspired one of the most audacious engineering feats of the era, the GMC DUKW 6x6. Developed in 1942 by GMC in the United States, this vehicle was not just a truck, it was a machine designed to operate seamlessly on both land and water. Its name, a seemingly cryptic code, reflected its innovative nature. D for 1942, U for utility, K for all-wheel drive, and W for dual rear axles. Every aspect of the DUKW was engineered with versatility and reliability in mind, ensuring that supply lines could reach even the most inaccessible shores. Powering this amphibious marvel was a GMC 270 inline-6 engine, producing approximately 91 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed manual transmission and a low-range transfer case. The drivetrain allowed full 6x6 mobility on land, while a rear-mounted propeller enabled navigation through water at speeds up to 5 miles per hour. Leaf spring suspension supported the vehicle's robust frame, while its naval-grade steel hull provided buoyancy and durability, making it equally at home in mud, sand, or open water. The DUKW played a critical role during the D-Day landings in Normandy, ferrying troops, ammunition, and supplies directly from ships to shore, eliminating the need for piers or docking infrastructure. It also saw action in Italy, the Pacific, and later in post-war humanitarian and recovery missions. Its appearance reinforced its dual purpose: a boat-like hull, short windshield, high sides, and absence of conventional fenders gave it a distinctive silhouette that was instantly recognizable. Decades later, a remarkable survivor of this amphibious fleet was discovered half-submerged at the edge of a lake in rural Poland. Covered in algae and aquatic vegetation, it remained eerily poised between land and water, a frozen testament to the DUKW's enduring ingenuity. This final vehicle completes our journey through the most unusual, remarkable, and resilient trucks of World War II, leaving a legacy that still inspires awe in military historians and enthusiasts alike.